Okay, now let's create a database by typing create database. Let's give it a name, test2. Then you hit F5 on your keyboard or click execute here. And you can come here and click on refresh. And now we see the database there. If we want to get rid of it, we type in drop database and the database name, click execute, click refresh, the database is gone. Okay, so let's go ahead and create it with the graphical user interface as well. I'm just trying to get you guys used to seeing it from different ways. And we're going to call this database employee. Actually, what we could do, I will make it. Let me show you, just give you guys some practice. And I want you guys to follow along and do this as well. The more you do it, the quicker you'll get up to speed on little things. And those little things start to add up, and then the confidence starts to come along. Okay, so we have employee. So what we could do is we can right click on this, delete. And now this is going to delete. Now we can right click on here and then go to rename, and we call this employee. Hit enter. All right. So now we have our database. Okay, as you guys can see, I only have one table here. So we're going to create a table and inject values into that table, data into that table, using the query I have right here. There's a link in the description to the script so you can insert this data. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I won't spend any time on this because this is something I need to show you guys later on down the line. But for now, we need to get the data in there so we can start playing around. So once you have this here, we have to make sure we're going to put this in the right database. So you click here, go to employee. And if I were to do that inside of SSMS, I need to make sure I'm in the right database as well. You don't want to put anything inside of the master database. You're going to come here, click employee, and then you can click run. So let's do it from here. So we have database employee selected. It's going to put the data into a table called employees _ T. The reason I have _ T there is because I'm going to show you guys something later where we're going to create views. So right now we are creating a table. So I'm giving it a suffix _ T so you know it's a table just by looking at the name. All right, let's click run. And no, okay. This happened because this is highlighted and assume this is a store procedure. I will tell you guys what a store procedure is later on down the line. So let's make sure nothing's highlighted or everything is highlighted and then run it. So let's click run. 50 rows inserted. Inserted where? It's inserted inside of a table called employees _ T. You can right click now. And voila, we have data. So we can jump over to SSMS SQL Server Management Studio, click refresh, go here. We see the table and voila. All right. So now you guys have data inside of your table that's inside of the employee database. So we have a database and then we have a table. And inside of this database, you can see we have 1, 2 tables. You can have 50, 40, 100 tables inside of a database. When you're working in SQL, you're going to run into where you're working with a lot of databases and a lot of tables within the database. So let's go ahead and do a query where we are just looking for employees job title, and you can see job titles popping up there. So when you see that pop up, you can just hit tab on your keyboard equals, and we have to put, when we have letters inside of the field, this is a field, job title is a field, last name is a field, department is a field. When we have letters in there, we need to wrap it in quotes and single quotes. So we're going to look for business analyst, everyone that's a business analyst. and we only have one business analyst. So let's look at something else like salary. So we will put salary here, and we can say something like where the salary is greater than $40,000. So as you can tell, I'm not putting quotes here because it's only numbers. This field, or you can say this column, only has numbers in it. It's a money column, so it's a number. So we hit run, and we have quite a few folks with that salary. So now you guys have an idea as to what you can do in the select clause. So let's say we want to look for those who have a salary of above 40,000 but less than 55,000. So we can say what salary is greater than 40,000, and I'm going to show you two ways to write this, and salary is less than 55,000. And this whole time I was saying 40,000, but that was 4,000. So let's put 40 there. And I'm going to comment this out. This is something you can do inside of SQL where you just want to comment out something where you don't want that line of code to be ran. So you can just put a double dash in front of it. And I'll show you another way where you can do a whole bunch in one shot. More lines in one shot. So click run. So now we have 38 rows. If you look here in the bottom, 38 rows of individuals who make over 40,000. Now this is over 40,000. It's not including 40,000. And if we want it to include 40,000, we will put an equal sign. I'm sorry, the equal sign needs to go on this side. Now we can run it, run. So now it's individuals who have 40,000 or above 40,000. And now you see the rows have gone from 30 something up to 43. Now let's go ahead and look for those who have salaries where they equal 40,000, but it's below 55,000. Click run. And now, as you can see, 22 rows have been returned to us. So let's say we want another criteria placed in the where clause. So we could say and department is IT. All right. SQL Server, for the most part, let me not say that. When we install SQL Server, we did not install it where it will be case sensitive. There is some companies that do that where they will make it case sensitive. I did not install that where it's case sensitive. And majority of the places I've worked, we never turned on case sensitivity on SQL Server. So I put IT in lowercase here, but as you can see, it's in caps over here, but it still will work. So we found 3 individuals who make over 40,000, but less than 55,000. So let's say we want to get rid of this here. Let's see how many more folks will be returned. And now we have a few more that have been returned. So let me show you a simpler way to put the criteria on salary. Let's say we want to say, we can actually go like this, where salary between 55,000. No, let's not do that. Let's do 40,000 like we had before. Between 40,000 and 55,000. And the IT department is the department. All right. So you see how that works? We've captured, I said 40, and this is 4,000. What is wrong with me? Let's run that again. All right. So we have these individuals here. This is one way where you can do it, or you can do it how I had it before. So now we can go like this, run it. And as you can see, we have this. So now you guys have done your first query where you can select and you can actually choose You can narrow down your choices, put it that way. Let me give you something else we can do, and we will call it a day. We will not call it a day. We will end the video with this piece of information. Not piece of information. We will conclude the video with the last query I want to show you guys. So let's say we want to make a change in the database. So first, what we can do is, let's say we want to give everyone who's making $50,000, we want to give them an increase, a 5% increase in pay. What we can do is search for everyone that's making, let's say we just want to do that for let's say we want to do it for the IT department, for those making $40,000 and less than $55,000. We want to give them an increase. What we can do is, I'm going to take this here and I'm going to actually go to a new window, paste this here. And what we're going to do is go update. That's not where you're going to put the update. You're going to put the update right here. Update. We will spend more time with updates in the next video. Just want to give you guys something to kind of start putting in your mind, so when we get to the next video, you would have already had this sunken in your mind somewhat. All right, so we're going to update the salary to whatever salary. So we're updating the salaries to whatever salary they currently have times 1. So we're going to give them a 5% increase. So we're going to go 1.05, and that should up their salary. So this is only for folks in the IT department making over 40,000, making 40,000 or more, but less than 55,000. So we click run. And now let's go back to the previous query. Now these folks should have their salary increased. And this is why I left this query window with this data so we can see. And now we click run, and now you see their salary has been increased. So I'm going to show you another way where you can actually pull data. You can actually go like this and just put an asterisk, which is not typically a good idea. But when you quickly want to look at things and you don't want to actually right click and go select top 1000 because you already know the name of the database. I mean, you may have so many tables here, 100 rows of tables. Maybe you don't want to scroll and look for it. Maybe you know the name of the table already. So you can just throw it up here, select asterisk, and you can put your criteria here and run, and see we got everything here. We have the same fields. Now let's say we just want to look at a particular field. We don't care for employee ID. So let's say we just want to look at first name, and we want to look at last name, and we want to look at salary. We don't care for department. We just care first name, last name, salary. Click run. See, now we have these particular fields. Something else you can do if you wanted to, let's say you want to see the name together.